Good morning, everyone. I will now call the August 20th, 2020 meeting of the Metro Sports Authority to order. It is the opinion of the chair and the staff that the items on today's agenda constitute essential business of this body and that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Are there any objections? All right, moving on. At this time, we will officially go through a roll call so we know who's here. And we will start with Director Bim. Margaret, are you present?
Yes.
Vice Chair Bender?
Present.
Colonel Deering?
Here.
Chad Duncan? Director Duncan, are you on? Glenn Farner?
I'm present. I'm having some technical difficulties, so if I drop again, I will try to connect by my phone.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. Melvin Gill?
Present.
John Glassmeyer?
Present.
Director Harrison? Frank, are you on? Dan Hogan?
Present.
Excellent. Aaron McGee?
Present.
Anna Page?
Present.
All right. Emmett Wynn?
Present.
All right. How about Jad? Are you on? I think you were on earlier. Okay, that gets us through who is attending from the board this morning. Thank you all, everyone, for being here today. Before we get started, I'd like to announce some recent committee appointments and liaison appointments. We had some recent appointments to our Finance Committee, and those include Dan Hogan and Glenn Farner. And we have also updated our facility liaisons. And the facility liaisons include the following: for Nissan Stadium, Melvin Gill; for Bridgestone Arena and Ford Ice Centers, Director Jad Duncan; for First Tennessee Horizon Park, Colonel Don Deering; and for the Mls Stadium, former Councilman Frank Harrison. We also have members from the board that are on the Women's Pro Sports Ad Hoc Committee, and those include Margaret Bim, Anna Page, and Dan Hogan. Finally, I need to go through and read the appeal of decisions, so bear with me. Pursuant to the provisions of the Metro Code, please take notice that decisions of the Metro Sports Authority Board may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davdison County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that the time and procedural requirements are met. We are at the portion of our agenda for approval of our meeting minutes from July 16th. The minutes were sent out last week. Are there any questions? If no questions, comments, we would entertain a motion for approval.
I move approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second. This is Dan Hogan.
Thank you, Dan. We have a proper second, so now we will go through, again, bear with me, a roll call vote. Director Bim, this is for approval of the minutes.
I approve.
Vice Chair Bender,
I approve.
Colonel Deering,
Aye.
Jad Duncan, are you on? Director Farner,
Aye.
Director Gill,
Yes.
Chairman Glassmeyer,
Yes.
Frank Harrison, are you on? Sure, we have Frank, so we'll move on to Dan Hogan.
Yes.
Director McGee,
Aye.
Director Page, Director Nguyen.
Yes.
The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. At this time, we will move on to our Executive Director's report. Monica Falk-Knudsen, give us an update. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the call today. You have the agenda before you. We just have one action item. Following my comments, Chairman Glassmeyer will give the Finance Committee report. And during his report, the board will receive and need to act on the committee's recommendation to approve a resolution which approves the GMP, the Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment to the Construction Management Agreement with between the Sports Authority and Mls Stadium Construction Manager Mortensen Messer. And then following the Finance Committee report, the authority will hear the Mls Stadium report, followed by facility updates from our venue managers. Are there any questions about the agenda? Okay, well, I have just a couple of quick updates for you. Very pleased to announce that the Metro Council has voted to extend GHP's contract for work on the stadium and at the fairgrounds for an additional 28 months. We really appreciate all that they are doing on our behalf, and we're glad that they'll be able to finish out the project. So that's some really good news. And then finally, construction on our new office space is almost complete. It's looking good. We are waiting on furniture and AV and hope that we'll be able to move into our space by the end of September. And we look forward to moving in and having you come by and visit when the time is right. Are there any questions? If not, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Monica. This morning, our Finance Committee met. They met from 9 o'clock to about 10:15. And at this time, our chairman, the esteemed John Glassmeyer, will give the Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Finance Committee met, as you said, and we are recommending approval of the resolution approving the Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment to the Construction Management Agreement between the Sports Authority and Morton Messer Construction, the construction of the Mls Stadium. We have Tom Cross from Metro Legal, Mary Cavara from the MLS team, and Ron Gobble available if any of the full board members have any questions. Hearing none, we make the recommendation for approval.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Margaret or Dan or Glenn, who are also on the committee, are there any comments you'd like to offer? Or if not, we will move into a roll call vote. Hearing no questions or comments. Director Bim?
Aye.
Vice Chair Bender?
Aye.
Director Deering,
Aye.
Director Duncan. Appears we lost Jed. Director Farner,
Aye.
Director Gill,
Yes.
Chairman Glassmeyer,
Yes.
Director Harrison, are you on? Director Hogan,
Aye.
Director McGee,
Aye.
Director Page, Director Nguyen,
Aye.
ayes have it. The motion to approve the resolution for approving the guaranteed maximum price amendment to the construction management agreement between the Sports Authority and Mortensen Messer for the construction of a Major League Soccer stadium is approved. Chairman Glassmeyer, are there any other report from this morning's Finance Committee meeting?
We did have a report from the Nissan Stadium. They work over there. I'm not sure if we need me or anyone from the site to add anything. And to be covered in the facilities update. I believe that is all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Finance Committee. Appreciate your report. Moving on, at this time we have an MLS Stadium update. I believe Mary Cavara with Nashville Soccer Holdings and Ian Ayer, Nashville SC President, will give an update, and then they will be followed by our project manager, Ron Gobble, who will report on the infrastructure project, and Kellen DeCourcy, who will give the DBE participation update. Mary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Alicia, if you can pull up our slides. Good morning, board members. And with the GMP now approved, again, and Alicia, if you can advance it to the schedule with the pie chart, please. So while she's doing that, there we go. So with the GMP now approved, because I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've spent on the stadium budget, just again wanted to share the fact that the GMP is only a portion of the overall stadium budget. It's a very significant portion, but as you can see on this pie chart, there are other cost components. And then in addition to the stadium budget of $335 million, the team is also responsible for the stadium site improvements, of $19 million. And so we'll be tracking those separately as we continue to show updates. Alicia, if you could please advance it to the next slide. And so now I think that's the wrong presentation. That was the earlier one. So while she's working on that, I can just talk to this chart that is a high level that gives the progress to date. Of the $335 million for the stadium, we have spent about $6 million of that. It's been funded entirely by the team. It was approximately about $20 million at the time that this slide was prepared. The more significant construction costs are really related to the physical stadium building itself, steel and other materials, and we'll be seeing more of those costs beginning in the early part of 2021. The next pie chart is essentially, or round chart is essentially a very high level view of the schedule based on our targeted May 2022 substantial completion. You can see that we've kind of incurred about 42% of the overall schedule. The design process itself was fairly long, running from the revised design in March of 2019, with receiving the final construction documents in April of this year. And then the construction process commenced with the earthwork in late July of 2020 And as I mentioned before, we'll expect that to accelerate in 2021. And then the next slide is a visual of our stadium progress. And this is an overhead view taken of the site approximately late July, early August. We continue to make good progress with the excavation. And if there are not any questions, I'll turn it over to Ian Eyre, the CEO of Nashville SC, who will provide an update on our club.
Thank you, Mary, and morning, everybody. If we could just go to the next slide, please, Lisa. So it's crazy to think it's almost 6 months since we played our first game, and pleased to say that we were able to get back to safe practice and safe training in early June ahead of the opportunity to play in Orlando. Unfortunately, that got caught short for us with 11 cases in our team of COVID-19. But as was the case throughout this team, we picked ourselves up and returned to play safely again. We have a rigorous testing program, and I'm very pleased to say that on the 12th of August, we were able to return to play against FC Dallas, and not only return to play, but find our first win in MLS. So a historic 3 points in that first game just a week or so ago. We then played again a couple of days later. If we go to the next slide, we tied that game. So in our first 2 games back, managed to acquire 4 points from a possible 6, and really just keep moving forward. So our next opportunity on the field comes this Saturday. We'll face off in Atlanta against Atlanta FC and Atlanta United FC at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then really everybody focused in my team on some 30th of August when we'll face off against David Beckham's Inter Miami team at Nissan Stadium, obviously with no fans following the announcement this week. Next slide, please. I also thought it'd be useful today just to share some of the other activity, the sort of non-soccer activity that's going on other than stadium around our community and the growth of our community activity. And as a new team coming in to soccer and into the city, we felt this was an important element to start to build out. This picture is one of 2 slides that show the great work that was done with Metro Nashville Public Schools in a Team Up for Teachers and Pencil organization, ourselves and some of the other teams around the city working together to create an initiative for teachers to support teachers. And this initiative delivered over 6,000 bags of school supplies to local teachers, showing everybody's appreciation for the great work they did. And was pleased to see that some of our staff were also able to get involved in this project, which is fantastic. Next slide, please. This next one shows one of the schools we visited was our neighbours and partner Napier Elementary School. It was a great project, very well received, and really the centre of a number of things that we've worked through over this period. So the Nashville Food Project we worked on with one of our big league partners, Captain Morgan, and that delivered over 20,000 individual meals for non-profit organisations serving the local community as it was affected by COVID. We supported Pride Month with Austin FC in an LBGT Pride in Local Music event. And we also supported the TN Strong Mass movement ourselves, and I think around 30 other flagship brands worked together to distribute over 300,000 free masks across the state. And we made an effort, given the variety of different cultures that support soccer, we produced these masks with messages in English, Spanish, Arabic, and Kurdish. And as we go ahead, the big plan really is to continue on this community-based projects with lots of things going on right now. We're just about to enter with a partner with an organization called Soul for Souls, which will provide a free pair of shoes to every national student in need. So really just getting a sense of how we're trying to build out the club, obviously trying to build out our stadium project, but really trying to grow in all areas. And as I said before, very much looking forward as a team to welcoming our team back on the field at Nissan on Sunday the 30th against Inter Miami. So please tune in and watch, and thanks for your continued support.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Mary, for both updates. Very helpful. Are there any questions from the board for Mary or Ian before we move on to Ron? Okay, Ron, you're up. Ron Gobble.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It may be clearer if Killen goes ahead and gives his DBE update, and then I do the infrastructure.
Okay,
project.
that sounds great.
Killen, are you there?
Yes, I'm ready. There's one slide we had prepared. That's the tracking log we have. That's, Alicia, do we have the summary slide? Well, nonetheless, I'll get started here. I do appreciate the opportunity to present here. This is our second DBE update on the MLS project. Just as a reminder for everybody, our project DBE goals from both design and construction, we were tracking with our architectural firm Populous, a 20% participation, and then from the construction manager, the Mortensen Messer team, a 30% participation. When we spoke last time, our last update, we were confirming with the BAO office on the final or the overall participation for Populous, and we currently have that confirmed at 21.3% participation, and that is through the end of their design phase on the project. So we are in good shape with them on that and exceeding our goal. To complement this update for the construction team, you can reference the DBE tracking log that Alicia had up earlier. The Mortensen Messer team is doing a great job on the outreach to the DBE community, especially with a focus on local subcontractors and vendors. The log that you have in front of you is through the end of July. Through the end of July, we've awarded 75% of the subcontractor trades and vendors. And currently we are showing or projecting 35% participation with the awards to date, which is exceeding our goal. We expect that will drop slightly when we finalize and award all the remaining trades, but we do have a plan and path here to exceed the project goals. And also just to kind of help further address a topic from the last meeting was we now have identified all of the firms that are located in Tennessee. You'll see there's a state column, and we've also added the county column. So we are tracking currently with the awards to date. There are 37 Tennessee-based subcontractors that are involved on the project, or DBE contractors and vendors, and then 13 of them are located here locally in the Davdison County. So that is our update on the DBE. Are there any questions?
I have a question for Alicia. Can you make that image larger, Alicia? And thank you so much for juggling, muting, and different slides. I know it's cumbersome, and we appreciate it.
And Chairwoman, too, there's a feature on your screen to where you can zoom it in yourself and what I show as well.
Thank you. And where's this in our shared point documents?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Which document is this on our shared point too?
This is
6B.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
6B, B as in boy.
Thank you. Great. Are there any questions for Kellen?
Okay. There's no question. This is Ron Gobble again.
Oh, I think Director Bell.
I have a question. Is this the report we're going to get every month after our discussion at the last board meeting? Is this how we're going to get the report? I just remember, and I had to get off early, but is this what we're going to get every month?
Yes, this would be the report we'd like to provide to you this is adding some additional information per our last conversation, and hope this helps communicate where we stand on the project.
Well, I think it looks great, and I like the colors. It helps. So thank you for doing the time, and I look forward to looking at it down the road. Thank you.
And Kellen, you said 75% of the trades have been awarded. What, is it easy to run through what's to be awarded, the remaining 25% generally, or?
The remaining trades are some of our smaller trades on the project, some of the interior finish trades that happen later on in the project. Railing, signage, tiling, flooring, carpeting, exterior landscaping, site paving, et cetera, things of that nature. We've focused on awarding the major critical path trades up front here.
And it's worth noting that the balance, the majority of the balance is out for bids at this point, and it's being evaluated. Some of the bids have come in, but they're being evaluated.
That's correct.
Thank you. Ron?
Thank you, Kellen. For those who were not in the the Finance Committee meeting, I'd like to point out that Kellen represents CAA Icon, who is the team's project manager. Our firm, GHP and CPS, play a review process in that and work for the city. And we've been working closely on the GMP and others and work closely daily. So we appreciate Kellen's input on this. Alicia, can you go to the infrastructure drawing that had those comments on it? While Alicia's doing that, I will point out that that's it. Well, there's another one that has the comments, but I can do it without it if you want to just keep that one. But the infrastructure project is a totally separate project from the stadium project. This is funded by $25 million of general obligation bonds, and it's the city's responsibility to put in the infrastructure to support the stadium. And as a result, it will also support other fairgrounds functions. The areas that you're seeing there on the map, just so you can see in the lower, kind of mid-lower left-hand corner is the stadium itself, and that's where all the construction is. And it has a fence around it, and that shows if you drive out there, that fence is where the limits of the construction are. The kind of oval, grayed out, that's it. Thank you, Lisa. Alicia, you're doing a great job, by the way. That oval looking thing there, that's the Speedway. And then just to the north of the Speedway, toward the top of the page, is where the new exposition halls are. We just built those last year in order to facilitate relocating, putting the stadium on top of the hill. Items in yellow show you essentially the scope of the infrastructure project. It's an extension of Wedgwood, which from Rains Avenue all the way to Craighead, which includes a new bridge. And that will be a street with 3 lanes of traffic, two bike lanes, and new sidewalks and planter strips. Then Benton Avenue, if you look in the kind of the mid left-hand side of this screen, Benton Avenue is a short street that goes up the hill to the fairgrounds property. So we're extending that around down by the Speedway, and that'll be a 2-lane road with on-street parking, planter strips, and new sidewalks. Under all of this will be the associated utility upgrades that are required to support the stadium and other functions. Some are new, some are upgrades. So those are the various things that are part of the infrastructure project. The status is that we're soliciting proposals for construction managers. That construction manager will be the contractor. It'll be very similar to the one on the stadium. We hope to have them in front of the Sports Authority for approval in September. That's out currently on the street. Should be back in, I think, later this week, but we'll be evaluating it next month or this month. The design team has completed 60% of the design. They are, that's been submitted. We received that last week. It's under review, and it came with a cost estimate. The goal is to start hard construction in January. There are certain milestone dates that we have to do to coordinate with the stadium construction. So they'll start tying in some of the utilities probably in May. But we've been working closely with the stadium team to evaluate when those dates are. And I guess the design team's goal is 20% DBE. I think they're on track to get that. It's worth noting that the project management team, GHP is a locally woman-owned business. CPS is a local small business. We have Pillars Development, which will be involved in some of the construction, we hope, and be working through that. Alliance Synergy, Hawkins Partners, Barge Cothran, and DuGard Communications is helping communicate this project and coordinate that with the stadium. So that's just kind of an overview of where we are. We're gold, and I appreciate having our contract extended. So we look forward to 2 years of a lot of work. Any questions?
Thank you, Ron, for your presentation. We're not hearing any questions, so thank you. Thank you, Mary and Ian and Kellen and Ron for the MLS update. We appreciate it.
Madam Chair, this is Kathy Bender, and I just wanted to get some clarification around the DBE numbers. Is there anywhere where we can see a breakout of what that looks like in terms of females and specifically African-American participation? I would just be interested to see how those numbers break out.
The infrastructure project or for the project?
Either or both?
There are two separate projects. We have not provided a report to date, but we can for the next meeting. And I think we have, I'm not sure, Jim Pachowski's on the phone. Jim, you may help me on this. Jim is with CPS. I'm not sure we're tracking, we have minority owned, but I'm not sure we have minority and woman in the same category. We have two different categories.
Yeah, I think that from time to time that happens, and women-owned businesses kind of get skewed in that DBE, and that's why I would be interested in seeing the actual other diversity.
Well, from the design perspective, again, the goal is on the design team is 20%. From the design perspective, we can get that because we know them all. So we can put that together and get that for you for the next meeting.
That would be great. Thank you.
Ron, Melvin Gill, I have a question. Are you considered part of the design team?
No, sir. We're project management. We have a separate contract.
Okay. I guess maybe I'm not understanding the BAO participation.
Well, we just put that on there as far as the project management groups are concerned. Again, our role is pretty unique in this. And again, we've got Pillars. Pillars work very closely with us on the fairgrounds buildings during construction. I don't know if you know those, Ed Henley, local minority-owned firm, and Alliance Synergy, which is Roxanne Bethune. They worked with us during the construction of the expo, we're working on trying to confirm some agreements with them and getting them involved. Hawkins Partners is woman-owned. It's not minority-owned, but it's a small business, and they're doing some design work as it relates to projects around this that are required for permitting. And so is Barge Coughlin.
Well,
both of those are, they're kind of available for consultants. As anybody who's worked on a project in Metro in the last 5 years know, Metro Water and there's so many different components that are outside the project that's got to be coordinated, and that's the things they're working with. And then DuGard Communications is going to be helping during the construction phase of articulating to the neighbors and others and being available for questions and supporting the Sports Authority. And that's a minority-owned local business, period. DuGard does a good job.
Okay.
Not a married name, but anyway, so that's a summary. Director Gills, anything else I can answer?
Well, I guess I was curious as to why there's a line item that's BAO participation rather than a line item that would be for the design team.
Well, we've got a separate thing from the design team, and we did not present that for this meeting, but we will get it for the next one. And some of these players are the same. DuGard is on the infrastructure team as well. I mean, on the design team as well. Barge Coughlin and Hawkins are playing a major role in the design. The primary firm for the design is Kimley Horn. So that's kind of where we are with it, but we'll get you a breakdown on them and how they're doing.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But as you know, on infrastructure projects, they're kind of unique animals and a lot of civil.
Okay, and now I have another question. Maybe it's not in order. What kind of unforeseen conditions have you run into at this site so far?
Well, the good news is I think Mr. Cross pointed out in the Finance Committee meeting, the environmental side was not as bad as we hoped, as we expected it to be. That's good news. Primarily, it's mainly just been sewer and what's available. That's been the biggest issue. And as we work with the various components, like working around the speedway, there's a lot of things that's been done over the years that were not documented in the 50s and 60s. So, when you count on using something, it's usually not there or usually not usable. We've had to upgrade some sewer work, and we're still negotiating with Metro Water about how far we have to extend that. Those are the kind of things that we've had on this project.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Are there any other questions? We will move on to our facility updates, and we're going to start with First Horizon Park. I think Adam and Doug are both on.
All right, good morning. This is Adam Nace, General Manager here with the Nashville Sounds, and I have Doug on as well. I think our report is, I'm afraid, a little short today, just with all the restrictions that are on the ballpark right now. There's not as much going on as we would have originally hoped, but kind of start with back in March, we were pretty passionate about trying to be the first to host events. So over the last 6 months, I think we're now on our 12th business plan of kind of how we pivot and find a new normal here. So after baseball was canceled, we created a new baseball season, had a plan that was going to have about 2,500 people in the ballpark, 25% capacity, and that kind of got held up just in the approval processes, health department and staying within the mayor's restrictions. We've since pivoted to try to do a kind of become an amphitheater of some sort and try to host some different events from concerts to festivals and really trying to stay within the parameters that have been set forth. The hope was to get to a point of about 3,500 in the ballpark as soon as an opportunity was available. And if the numbers continued to go down, worked real closely with Dr. Caldwell and the health department on making sure that we were following all the guidelines and doing everything the right way. Obviously, with the restrictions not being lifted, we've kind of put that on hold until that opportunity comes. So now I think our 12th business plan here is to start hosting private batting practice events, which we just launched this last week. We're already up to about 100 groups coming out and doing batting practice at the ballpark, working on trying to add on some major league pitchers that live around the area to come in. And if you think you can take on a 90-mile-an-hour slider, you can find out for yourself. So working on some fun things to just get people into the ballpark, do some different things that we usually wouldn't offer, but it's $35 a person. They get to come in for an hour and enjoy the ballpark. We make sure that we're highly compliant of all the health protocols, so we keep the groups somewhere around 6 to 10 people and try to just create some good quality of life for folks during this time. And then the other big thing that we have open is we opened a new sports bar that overlooks the ballpark. We've been open now for a week or so since the new restrictions came out. And so if you want to look at the ballpark, see the ballpark, we got a great bar. It's called Third and Home, overlooks left field of the ballpark. And I think the food's best in town, obviously a little partial, but a great environment and a great spot to be. I think with that, I have Doug. He was going to jump on and talk a little bit about some of the health updates and some of the practices that we put in place.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Good morning, everybody. Doug Scopel, Vice President of Operations for Sounds and First Horizon Park. Adam touched on a lot of it, but basically we've just been for the last several months, as all of the facility partners on this call have been as well, in pretty constant contact with the health department, with the mayor's office, just being as prepared as we can when we can open for larger capacity events, things of, safety protocols, training procedures for our staff, all those different, new signage, new procedures for cleaning, all that stuff that we keep talking about. For a while there, I had daily conversations with Dr. Caldwell and his staff and continue to stay in touch with them. And as the city progresses and we can get to that point, we look forward, just like everybody else here, to hosting those. A lot of that's behind the scenes, but we want to be ready, and we feel like we're ready to roll. If they tell us tomorrow you guys can open up, I think we're at a good spot for that. So one other thing I wanted to touch on is just minor league season. Obviously, this year we unfortunately didn't have a season due to all the COVID and everything else that goes with it. Typically, we announce our following season schedule right around this time, late August. This year is a little bit different. In addition to the COVID pandemic, the contract between Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball is up for renewal. That happens every, 8 to 10 years or so. Commissioner Manfred, the Major League Baseball commissioner, has some ideas of changes he would like to implement in how that works. And so as a result of that, part of that is going through that negotiation process. We may not know our schedule for next year until sometime this fall. So in case that question would come up to this group, when are the Sounds going to have out next year's schedule? Obviously, COVID's going to factor into that, but the larger scale baseball discussions also impact that. But we look forward to getting that information out and start talking about, what we can do next year once we know all these variables and how that all ties in.
Thanks, Doug. I know you guys have been trying to bring folks back in the ballpark and do so safely. And certainly look forward to it personally. And as a season ticket holder, your staff has been tremendous of keeping, I think, fans engaged and informed and staying in constant communication. And I'm sure that's been very difficult, but thank you. You can tell that you guys care and are trying to do the right thing. So thank you so much. Are there any questions for Adam or Doug? This time? Is there a question? Okay, that's not a question.
I have a question.
Who is that? Is that, go ahead. I think we're having some feedback issues. There we go.
Yeah, this is
Don, I think we're having some feedback difficulties. We'll try one more time.
Cam, if you can mute yourself when Don's.
It looks like Colonel Deering, you're on twice, so maybe you can hang up one of your connections. That might help.
Don?
Yes.
Your question?
Yeah, I had a question for either Doug or Adam, either one. Have all the repairs from the tornado been finalized and completed at the stadium?
Thanks for that question. Everything except for the roof. The roof has, we got final, what we think is a final overview of that and pricing on that. That has been presented by our insurance carrier to the city's insurance carrier. They are, I believe, discussing that currently. As soon as that is all talked through, we should get that work underway. And that's the last piece. Everything else in the ballpark has been repaired.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. At this time, we'll hear from Bridgestone Arena and Ford Ice Centers for a brief report.
All right, good morning. This is Kyle Clayton, Vice President of Operations. We have a few changes since the last time we spoke, which is great, a few updates. So we have a nice panel in front of you today. We'll kick it off with Danny Butler, our Vice President and General Manager of Ford Ice Center. As you know, Ford Ice Centers are up and running, which is great, and we're continuing to expand our programming. So Danny will give you a quick update there. Something else that's happened recently last past month, we've actually put players back on the ice and we played some hockey. Not quite the results we wanted, but an interesting situation where we built a bubble here, utilized Bridgestone Arena, and then we went to Edmonton to play those games. So each team was allowed about 50 or 51 folks to enter that bubble. And we have Brooks Bratton today. He's our Senior Communications and Content Coordinator. So he was actually part of that bubble that went to Edmonton. So he's going to kind of give us an update of how that went and then also an update on the team itself. We continue to work with Metro Board of Health and other industry folks for concerts and events. So David Kells, our Senior Vice President of Entertainment and Marketing, going to give us an update there. And then lastly, as we navigate this pandemic, obviously one of the things that we hold dear to us is being part of the community and engaging all of our fans in the community itself. So we have Rebecca King, our Vice President of Community Relations, to talk through some of the initiatives that we've taken in the past 4 to 5 months. So with that, and we'll come back at the end and we'll have time for questions, but feel free to interrupt as we go if you have any questions. But with that, I'll turn it over to Danny.
Thanks, Kyle. Just because you did, I turned my video on so you can see me. Danny Butler, Vice President and General Manager of Ford Ice Center. Thanks for the time. I will be pretty brief today, as I did get to talk last month about us being open, but this past week we were just open for our 2 months in a row now. So we opened June 15th, and both our facilities have been open since then. Most of our programming in our facilities is back, so we have been able to finish out our adult league seasons that we stopped in March, and also finish our youth league seasons that we had to pause in March. Jad, I apologize. I know Kyle's adult league team beat your team for the championship, so there's always next year for you, Jad. But it's been really nice to have a lot of our programming back. Over the summer before school started, we were able to hold host 3 different tournaments. Those tournaments looked a lot different than they had in the past. Typically our tournaments are running about 30 teams or about 65 hours over the weekend of games. This year, very different. We hosted about 10 teams on each of those tournaments, but it was nice to be able to get kids back playing hockey. We did host a high-level recruitment hockey camp in the end of July, which allowed some kids to be seen by colleges and junior teams. Again, that camp was about half the size that it normally is, but it was nice to be able to get people back in our building. What's really good, a couple things, just looking forward, last year we had 46 tournaments and camps booked in our building. We ended up hosting about 33, prior to COVID happening. Already as I go forward for this year, we have 43 events booked currently for the year. So we are pacing right along as we were last year, even with everything that's happened the last few months. So really excited to see that. Also good to see that USA Hockey and US Figure Skating have both announced that they are going to restart supporting events in local markets. So as local markets begin to open, USA Hockey and US Figure Skating are going to start sanctioning all their events again and sanctioning all their programs, which having the support of both those parent organizations really has been good. As we've been open, the biggest thing we did before we opened, we created, I think, a 40 to 50-page document that went over all of our policies and procedures on how we're going to open safely, and how we're going to keep all of our guests and our staff safe in the building. That was really important for us to do. We worked with a hygiene specialist on it, and then we passed that on to the Sports Authority, to Metro Parks, and to the health department to make sure everybody understood what we were doing when we were opening our building. So we really are trying to do everything we can to be safe, to allow people to be back in our building, and that's what we've done. Of course, there have been some small issues since we've been open, but it's something that every day we're learning from, and every day we're striving to get better, and we're really excited about being able to be open and to continue our programming. Come September, I think you're going to see even more expanded programming that we operate. We did take a pause on some of our kind of intro to hockey and intro to skating programs. We're going to start seeing those come back in September, and then high school hockey is also coming back, as well as travel hockey and some other things in the market. So a lot of good things going on at the ice rinks. We're almost as busy as we were in March, but not quite yet, but doing everything we possibly can to keep everything safe. So that's a quick recap of what we're doing at the rinks. And if you have any questions, I guess let me know, or we'll take them at the end. I'm going to introduce Brooks Bratt, who got to spend some time in Edmonton.
Danny, this is Margaret, before you leave. So in your report, you had, despite limiting open hockey and stick time to 20 participants per session, Fordyce Centers saw 1,907 hockey players in these sessions throughout the month, and 4,976 freestyle figure skating sessions sold.
Yep.
So that's a lot of people. I was wondering, this 5,000, almost 5,000 freestyle figure skating sessions sold. What does that mean? Is that
so? The way our figure skating sessions work is they buy on 30-minute sessions. So basically, what they're doing is they're coming in, they're working with a coach for 30 minutes to an hour, but usually they'll end up buying 4 or 5 sessions in a day. So there's not 5,000 skaters in the market. It's a smaller number, but they buy multiple sessions. And with figure skating being kind of an all-day thing, it's a crazy world that I learned a lot of. Fordyce Center's been open 6 years this week too. Figure skaters spend a lot of time. A lot of them are homeschooled, so they spend a lot of their day getting taught at home, and then they'll spend also their daytime ice skating through freestyle. So.
What would you estimate the number of skaters there are there, and how many of them are women and girls?
Oh, unique, there's about, and this is a complete estimation, but I'd say unique's about 300 to 350. And I'd say 90% are girls on a freestyle session. Right. You look at our hockey. Our hockey's probably 15% girls right now, just from what we control ourselves. A couple things that have changed that are the girls hockey program that we started, as well as the Friends, which is the kind of the elite travel program in the market. They've started, last year was their first year of girls hockey. this year they expanded another team. And actually, they're renting one of the spaces in Antioch to have their first ever locker room just for themselves. So they'll have a home space for themselves. So it really is good. And then we do have a request for a grant to start a really cool girls program that hopefully we get some information on this month. We were supposed to get it last month, supposed to get it this month, but hopefully by either September or October's meeting, I can really go into a little bit more detail about that, because it's a program that I'm pretty excited about that can really make girls hockey in the market explode. So
well, keep up the good work, Danny.
Thanks, Margaret. Cool, Brooks, I think you're up.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. As Kyle was saying a moment ago, we have just finished up a month of NHL hockey in the middle of the summer, which is certainly a bit unheard of. It was a unique experience, to say the least, but a positive one and an impressive one with how everything came together over the last little bit. I'll just take you through quickly kind of what it looked like over the last month for the team. And training camp began on July 13th after the NHL had ratified their return to play plan, most notably Phase 4, which were the Stanley Cup playoffs that are still going on right now. But camp began here in Nashville on July 13th. It was held at Bridgestone Arena. Protocols were established with some guidance from the NHL, and of course working very closely with local authorities to essentially create a bubble type environment within Bridgestone Arena. And that simply meant during those 2 weeks for training camp, players and coaches and staff were getting tested every day for COVID, and it was essentially go to the rink, go home, and nothing else. You're just back and forth every day. And that worked out really well. It was a really secure environment. And again, that's kudos to a lot of folks on our staff, and the NHL did a great job of establishing those protocols and giving some guidance, and then working with some local health authorities as well to kind of figure out what that meant for us. So after those 2 weeks, the team then left for Edmonton on July 26th. As Kyle said, I was one of the lucky 52 that traveled with the team to Edmonton. And we took with us the For Smashville campaign, which we established heading into training camp. And it was an all-encompassing kind of mantra between hockey ops and the business side of the organization, saying that, yeah, we're playing for us, and the players are playing for their family and friends, but we're also playing for the city and this community that we're obviously so intertwined with and means so much to us. So I think that was really important, especially going to Edmonton. And even though we were thousands of miles away from Nashville, we still really felt that support from home. We even had a digital billboard in downtown Edmonton that as we would drive by on the bus to go to practice, you would see the Win for Smashville logo come up in the middle of Edmonton. So that was pretty cool. And again, I mean, kind of touching on the protocols, there were testing once again every day in Edmonton. Everybody that was in the bubble was getting tested once a day. And the entire time that we were there, and still continuing in Edmonton and Toronto, where the other NHL bubble is, there has not been one single positive case over the last 3 weeks in either bubble, which is obviously a very positive development. Everything was incredibly well organized. The safety and security from the NHL and our team and everybody there working, whether it was folks with the city of Edmonton or the government of Alberta or hotel staff or arena staff, it was very impressive how it was run. And once we arrived in Edmonton, there were certainly no hesitation or questions as to whether or not it would be secure. Those were very quickly answered. And unfortunately, a 3-1 series loss in the qualifying round to Arizona sent us home just after a couple of weeks. Obviously, there's disappointment in the loss, but there's still a lot of positives to take. And talking to to some of our players in the immediate aftermath, and then over the last week or so, they were really encouraged by the level of play. Much more so than last year against Dallas. I know there was some different disappointment after that postseason loss in round one, but just the style of play and what we were able to do as a team in those games against Arizona. There's lots of room for encouragement, and I know that's sometimes tough to see after you lose, and there's obviously things that you can do better, but there's still a lot to build on heading into next season. The top line, our top four defensemen, and our goaltending are certainly bright spots to build around, and there's a bit of a youth movement I think that we'll look for from an on-ice standpoint of integrating some of our prospects in next season and giving some guys that have been in our organization for a couple of years every and any opportunity to make our team for opening night. And there's a lot of excitement by what we have already in the organization. And then just to look ahead really quickly to the 2020 draft, which is scheduled to take place October 9th and 10th. We have the 11th overall pick in the draft. For reference, Ryan Ellis, our associate captain, was selected with the 11th pick back in 2009. So there will certainly be a very good player available there. And then we have 2 picks in the second round and 2 picks in the third round. So we're going to get some pretty good players right off the hop in the draft here in a couple months' time. So again, overall, a really great experience. Of course, you want to be able to win some more, but it's been quite a month for the organization, and I think we were really happy with how everything played out, just from a standpoint of being safe and secure as we went about our business. And then, as I said, there's certainly some excitement for the future on the ice as well. So we'll look forward to the start of the 2020-21 season, whenever that may come, hopefully sometime in December. But the future is bright, and I think it's bright in the present as well. So happy to answer any questions, but thanks for having me this morning. And if there's no questions, I will pass it along to David Kells.
Kyle, while we're waiting for David to join, I think that was Brooks' first time joining us before the Sports Authority, and we welcome him to, or at least speaking at our board meeting. I know he's been with the organization a long time. And Brooks, is it correct you're a senior communications team? We try to have everyone's title for the record.
Yes, Kim, it's Senior Communications and Content Coordinator is my official mouthful of a title. But yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I know David was having a few issues early on trying to get in. I think he came in as an attendee. I'm not sure if we need to switch him to a panelist, but I tell you what, Rebecca, why don't you go ahead and we'll see if we can get back to David here at the end. Rebecca, are you there? Well, I believe Rebecca's also having some technical issues with her connection as well. Wait, I think she's coming. I believe Rebecca's going to try to jump out and then jump back in to reconnect. While we wait for those two, is there any other questions while we wait? Sorry about this, everybody.
Kyle, I'm always happy to ask a question while we're waiting. I noticed a lot of these events have been rescheduled, you know, the new dates. When is it that you're really starting to schedule again? Is it February? I'm trying to see here, like, when are you hopeful that you can have events in the arena again?
Yeah, absolutely. Working closely with David Kells on this, and again, if he was able to join, he could give us a lot more details. But in general, you know, as we continue to work with, you know, the local authorities and everything like that, along with our partners in Live Nation and AEG, you know, the concert industry as a whole is really on hold, and there's a lot of social media movements right now talking about wearing your mask so we can get together in the future and things like that. You know, in general, what I would hope to say is, you know, the new year, January, would be most probably aggressive situation at the moment. There may be an off chance for a few one-off events before then, maybe in November and December. But you know, we've also talked to several promoters and individuals about doing, you know, live streaming events and things like that from the arena as well. But I think before you really try to get folks in the building, you're talking early 2021. And again, it's just for a safety mechanism, right? You know, we've worked through different seating plans and seating charts where we can socially distance within the building. And, you know, kind of like Adam said early on, you know, we're on phase 21 of a business plan. You know, every day you kind of tear it up and you start all over just based on new information that comes out. But, you know, again, we try to be the most aggressive, you know, concert building in the U.S. That's our goal. And so we continue to work with our partners in Live Nation, AEG, and other, you know, smaller promoters and try to get events. But again, safety is the key for our fans in the building as well as our staff. And I'm assuming Rebecca and David are still not able to join. Again, I am really apologetic for that. If there's any other questions, love to answer. If not, we can get them to come back on next month and try this one again.
Kyle, can you hear me?
There's Rebecca.
All right, I'm gonna hang up the phone because that part was not working. Sorry for my delay and technical difficulties. Wanted to just give an update on what we have been doing since it's been tornadoes. It wasn't even COVID that really ramped up what we've been doing. We did a lot of fundraising to help tornado relief, which then led into our Feeding the Front Lines, where we were actively delivering food to every shift at the Nashville Police Department, fire, medical workers at Vanderbilt and Metro General. We were able to use our corporate partners to purchase food from them to help bring in business and revenue for them. Despite the cancellation of 3 of our top fundraisers, which would have brought in over $500,000, we have thankfully built a really strong reserve for our foundation. And if there was any time to use this rainy day fund, this is the rainiest of days. So we have been even more active in distributing money to our community to help where it is needed. In April, we gave out our grants in $700,000 to 150 organizations. What an organization applied for in January of 2020 is drastically different than what their needs are were in April and even now. We have since allowed the charities to reallocate their funds for operational expenses, salaries, and whatever else they may need, which is not something that we have typically funded in the past. Charities were very appreciative to be able to use this in other areas. We also gave out college scholarships to 4 high school seniors for $2,500. Our players have been very active. Roman Yossi gave out $60,000 20,000 to Best Buddies, 20,000 to Home Street Home, and 20,000 to Second Harvest. Through our Pride Month we held in February, we were able to give out $12,000, with the majority of the money going to the Oasis Center Just Us program. One of our owners has committed a $300,000 commitment over the next 3 years to Middle Tennessee organizations. And so we presented Cottage Cove and Harvest Hands with $50,000 each. I think this money that these charities are getting was unplanned, but hugely needed. The timing couldn't have been better for them. And so we are so grateful that we were able to do this. There have been very few good things coming out of COVID. The one that we are excited to continue when things resume are our blood drives. We used to do one drive, one location with about 120 appointments. Now during COVID, we recently did 29 locations and 1,300 appointments from Memphis to Knoxville to Huntsville to Kentucky. So we were able to raise over 1,000 pints of blood. We raised $20,000 over the playoff run that we had, and we did a food drive with Sherry Weiner and raised over 6,000 pounds of food. So we continue to be very busy. We're looking to help schools and continue our work, and we have reserves that are going to allow us to continue to do even more this upcoming season. So if any questions, I'm happy to answer, but thank you for having me on.
This is Kyle again. I apologize about David Kells not being able to get on. We continue to work to do some one-off events or possibly even some events without fans in the building. So we'll have him come in and do an update next month for everybody.
Thanks, Kyle. I think our chair might be having some technical issues. Kim, are you there? All right. Kim, I think what we'll do is move on to the Nissan Stadium update. I know that they are pressed for time. So Janine and Mike, if you can hear us, move forward. And then if the chair doesn't return, then our vice chair will take over. Thank you.
Hi, Monica. This is Burke Tannehill, President and CEO of Tennessee Titans and Nissan Stadium. We'll be very brief today, but did want to cover a couple updates, and not surprisingly, they're similar to the other venues. So as everyone knows by now, earlier this week we delivered some disappointing news that our first home game on September 20th will be without live fans. There's no question that we're disappointed in the outcome, but to be very clear, we said it on Tuesday, and we very much mean it. We wholeheartedly understand, support, and trust the mayor's decision. That does not mean that we don't believe that we have a safety plan when the time is right. We've been working for months with the city, with international health experts through the NFL and the CDC. Dr. Fauci has actually reviewed the plan. And we believe that, frankly, when the time is right, attending a Titans game this fall may be one of the safest things that someone can do. But we also understand that decisions like this are made on a different level, that are outside the four walls of our building. There are other dynamics in play, and we are very much supportive of the mayor's decision. We are hopeful and optimistic that our games in October and beyond may be able to have a different outcome, and we'll just continue to work with the mayor's office and the health department to see where we net out on that. Any questions about that topic? Hearing none, we'll move on to something that is more exciting, which is that Titans football is back. Training camp started about 2 weeks ago. It is a very different experience than in the past. We have built trailers at our headquarters for daily testing for our players, coaches, anyone who is around the football players and football operation. Everyone at the facility, no surprise, is wearing masks. One of the major updates for the Titans organization is that a lot of us have frankly moved out of St. Thomas Sports Park. I'm calling in today from a press box at Nissan Stadium because we made the decision that anyone who is not actively working with the football team, with the football operation, will stay out of that ecosystem until the time is right to come back. So we have found different offices in different places around town, and a lot of us are still working at home to just protect the football players and staff while they're preparing for the season. One thing is the same, though, as I've seen personally by videos, not live, but by videos and from hearing reports, the players and the staff are grinding hard to build a championship football team. So we asked Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, to come and share some of his firsthand knowledge. He's one of the few who has had a first-hand look at the practices so far. Just before I turn the presentation over to Mike, though, I would like to publicly offer our organization's congratulations on his recent and well-deserved, well-earned selection as a member of the 2020 class of the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. So congratulations on that, Mike, and I will turn it over to you now.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Burke. It really means a lot that you would acknowledge that and to work for this organization. Lots of great things happening right now. I think for me, my face hurts from smiling because for the last week, I've been able to watch football. And when you miss something and you don't have a chance to see it through the course of the spring, I think when you get a chance to see it, you truly appreciate it. And our players and coaches feel the exact same way. Malcolm Butler, one of our defensive backs, made the comment this week, I don't care about sweating or hurting or stretching or how long practice goes. I'm just so glad to be back out there. And everything started for us July 28th with some testing. We had an acclimation period. We had a period where we worked in just helmets. And then this past Monday, we put on full pads and we got down to business. And watching this team work, I feel like we're really picking up where we left off 7 months ago, almost to the day when we played in the AFC Championship game. You know, we're one of only 4 teams with 4 straight winning seasons. We've won 3 playoff games over the last 2 years. We feel like we're on the verge of something really, really special. And it started in our offseason with re-signing Ryan Tannehill, who has the highest rating of any quarterback, or had the highest rating in 2019 of any quarterback in the National Football League over the last 7 seasons. Played great for us, and he has picked up where he has left off. It is Ryan Tannehill's team. Part of the reason that he can be so successful is he's playing with the leading rusher in the NFL from 2019. Of course, I'm talking about Derrick Henry, who we also re-signed to a new contract. And if you can believe this, he looks even meaner and tougher and stronger. And then on offense, A.J. Brown, who should have won Rookie of the Year at wide receiver. Corey Davis is back to work. Adam Humphries is back to work. We think Jonnu Smith is going to be one of the great young offensive stars in the league this year as he starts to blossom. We returned 10 of 11 starters on offense, and our entire offensive staff, led by Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator who did such an amazing job a year ago. So we're starting at a completely different place offensively. I believe it'll be the best offense we've had since Steve McNair won the MVP in 2003. Defensively, emerging stars, Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive line, Big Jeff, Rashaan Evans, Jayon Brown, Harold Landry, Kevin Byers, Adoree Jackson. I mentioned Malcolm Butler. We've got players and we've got up-and-comers on the defensive side of the ball. And then a lot of fans have been extremely pumped about our rookies. Having a chance to see this rookie class, our first-round pick, Isaiah Wilson, Big Panda out of Georgia, weighs 350 pounds. This guy is really going to be something special. He's battling Dennis Kelly to be our right tackle at this point. Our second-round pick from the national champion LSU Tigers, Christian Fulton, a corner. He's going to have a chance to play for us in the secondary right away. Darrington Evans from Appalachian State, a running back who had the second best 40 time at the combine last year, 4.41, going to give us a different element from Derrick Henry and probably could see time on the field with Derek at the same time because he catches the football so well. Laurel Murchison, young defensive lineman from NC State. I'm telling you, that guy may be one of the surprises of our class because our defensive line rotation is going to need that sort of depth. So we're pumped, and we're doing lots of things with our fan base right now to get them involved. This afternoon, our season ticket members are getting to have a live look-in with myself and our quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, and that's something fun. We've done live look-ins already on practice for about 30 minutes. We're going to do another one tomorrow, another one on Sunday, another one on Tuesday, another one next Friday. We're trying to bring Titans fans in, even though they don't have a chance to see us in training camp right now. Excited, too, that Monday, SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88 is in for their Titans training camp day. And if you like Channel 88, 4 to 6 on Monday, all Titans. Mike Vrabel's radio show starts on Monday. Next week, we start Titans All Access. And I mean, this is happening. And it's a great time for us to be doing all of these things because, listen, with these players and these coaches and what we've done, winning football games, and with the team that Amy Adams-Strunk has put together in John Robinson and also Mike Vrabel and the staff, and then the group that we have on the non-football staff. And, you know, we've added some all-stars. I mean, Burke Nihill certainly stepping into this role is somebody that our organization feels great about. Adolfo Birch, welcome back home, coming from the NFL office. Surf Melendez, our new creative director. You've met Gil Beverly, I'm sure. This is, in my 23 years with the ball club, this is the high point. And hopefully we're going to be able to take this energy that we have as an entire football organization, not just a football team, and carry that into the fall to give everybody who follows the Tennessee Titans something to smile about, like I'm smiling about just seeing practice. The heavy lifting these folks have been doing to get us there, to keep us safe, so we stay safe. I mean, it's been unbelievable. My job is easy. I'm just watching the football team. I'm enjoying doing what I do, but I really believe that this football team can have a positive impact on our community, hopefully to make everybody proud and take everybody's mind off these real world things, which are so difficult. And, you know, obviously what we'd like more than anything else is to have a parade in February. And I hope y'all, Kim and everybody, would have a chance to plan that for us. We'd love that.
Mike, thank you for bringing energy to our meeting here at the end. It was, we appreciate your time and making yourself available, and you've certainly fired us up for some Titans football. Thank you for joining us.
Kim, that concludes the Nissan Stadium report.
Thank you, Burke. I appreciate everyone for their time today. Can you hear me?
Yes, Madam Chair, we hear you. I have one question.
Thank you, because I haven't been able to connect for a while. So go ahead, Vice Chair.
I was just curious to see if there's any updates from Tennessee State University in terms of their schedule or season.
Kathy, this is Bob Flynn. So I'm talking to Mickey Allen. I mean, if you saw on last week, OVC canceled their fall sports. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And so I actually spoke to him on Monday, and they're trying to figure out what's going to happen. But their fall sports for conference games have been canceled.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Well, thank you so much for everyone hanging in there today for another virtual Sports Authority Board meeting. Hopefully we can get back to meeting in person and not have to overcome these technical difficulties. But next week, please note that our Women's Professional Sports Subcommittee, chaired by Kathy Bender, will meet virtually, of course, next week on Tuesday, August 25th at 10 a.m. Our consultants will present their report and findings to the committee at this time, so please join if you're able. Our next meeting for the full board will be held on September 17th, and the Finance Committee will meet beforehand. If there are no other questions, we we would entertain a motion to adjourn, and thank you, Alicia, and everyone for supporting us today.
Madam Chair, I move for adjournment.
Thank you, guys. Keep well, and we are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.org.